Hello everyone, welcome to another podcast episode. This is episode number 49. My name is Listar, I am Listar Crochet, and I make and sell crochet and knit clothing and accessories for men, women, children, and babies. Welcome to another episode. I'm just like full of joy right now, somehow, but okay, anyway, let's get back to it. On this episode, I talk about things like what I have been up to, any items sold, finished objects, works in progresses, new listings, new yarn, and yarn labels. So what I have been up to, I was just about to jump into that section before I gave the introduction, like before I completed the introduction, and I was just, I'm so happy for some reason. I will say that what I have been up to is that I have been having bad migraines because the migraines are back, and so I have a referral to see a neurologist, and so I can take medication for migraines. And I am also in the process of fixing my teeth right now. I know these look fine up here, and you're probably thinking like, well, what's wrong with your teeth? They look fine. Well, I have in the molar back here, it's been decaying, and I don't drink, I don't smoke anything, I don't, and so I brush my teeth twice a day, and the only other option that I see being like real of why my teeth are slowly decaying sometimes is from the medicine, and that I've spoken to a doctor about it, my psychiatrist about it before, and it's real. It can happen over time. And so anyway, I have this molar in the back here that I need to get either a root canal or extract it. And that is, because the little infection thing, it's like in the root. That's why I would need a root canal, right? And so I saw a dentist, and that's where I got the information from that I need. And so high hopes, prayers that I'm able to get that situated. That'd be grateful. Thank you. What else I've been up to? I have been knitting a lot more than I usually have, and I'm very happy about that because it's not that I was getting tired of crocheting. It's just that I found knitting more interesting for the time being, and I'm always so cautious about like the fear of running out of yarn, and all this storage back here full of crochet stuff. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to sell it. So yeah, there's that. And I went to the market this past Saturday and I made no sales, but that would be more than no sales section. So anyway, let's move on with this. Items sold. I have sold no items because, well, I went to the market and I know I just said that. And I surprisingly made no sales. And it was strange because the other crocheters that were there at the market, they didn't make anything either except for one crocheter that's been there longer than all of us. And she made one sale, which is the ear warmers. And I found that odd because I've never went negative before while taking the risk of going to the market I usually go to. And so it was just, I wasn't upset, I wasn't sad, I was just a little disappointed because like, whoa, I've never experienced that before when it came to not making any sales at a market. And I figured, and my parents helped me out with this too, is because we feel that it's past Christmas and all the gift giving, people are taking a break from that right now. And so I hope I make more sales next market. And if you see the thumbnail, then it's the picture of my market that I set up this past Saturday. Anyway, moving on. Finished objects. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finished objects. So I've been pretty busy this past week. One finished object is from an item that I made a couple weeks ago, but I just decided not to show it in the finished objects just yet. Also, I trimmed my bangs, if you couldn't tell already, but anyway, back to the finished objects. I want to start with the oldest finished object that I have, and the one that was made a couple weeks ago, a jellyfish. Isn't this cute? And I can show you guys up close. What I used is 2 strands of worsted weight to get the bulky 5 feel and detail of the thickness of yarn. And so he has a little smile right here, and I'm still touching the waters into amigurumi, but I just don't want to do everything that I see in case I don't like the way it turns out. So anyway, made with 2 strands of worsted yarn, and this is the yellow color that I have a lot of from that Hirschner's yarn, and I'm still plowing through it. I'm still trying to bust through it so I can get it off my shelf and I can get something better. I will say that there will be another yarn haul video in the works. I know I just did one, but I recorded that like sometime 1 or 2 weeks ago. And so that's what I try to do whenever I do these videos, is that I try to pre-record, and that way I am able to have more time to work, crochet or knit, and that's my work. So anyway, the next finished object, I want to show you guys first the completed pair of socks that I have done in the colorway Guava, and this is made with a 1 weight sock weight yarn. And there's the details right here that you can see, the diamonds that I did on the cuffs, and you can see 2, so I'm not just, it doesn't look like I'm just showing you guys 1 sock. And yeah, I painted my nails too, as you can see. It's a Sally Hansen brand, and so I honestly just bought the cheapest kind of nail polish that looked good enough at Walmart, because I had to wait there for a long time because it was behind glass doors, and I had to call in an assistant. I had to press the button and then wait for a Walmart worker to come by and open the glass case so I can pick out the colors. So I got red and soft pink, but I'm doing red right now, as you can see. But anyway, back to the socks. This is for the size, this is for women, size medium. And as long as I'm doing these fruits colorways, I want to continue making the women's sizes of socks. Now I will be doing male socks. It's just I need to find the right numbers to things, like how many loops I would need on a DPN, each DPN, so like divided by 4, and then how much stitches I need to do for the cuff, the heel turn, gusset, foot, and toes. And so it shouldn't be hard to find. And moving on to the next finished object that I have is another guava sock. I still have this much of amount of yarn left for the 1 weight of the guava colorway, and so I decided to do like a no-show type of sock. And it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't look bad. Let me know in the comments what you think about this sock. And so I did the ribbing right here when it comes to the cuff, and then I did the heel, and I feel like the heel, if I'm being honest, it was a little bit too long that I made, but I'm not going to put it on my foot to check because I am selling this. I don't want to wear something and then sell it right after. That's just something I don't do as a business. And I did the end right here, the Kitchener stitch. It's like this, but to normally fold a sock, it's this direction. So it's alright though. I don't have sock blockers. I used to have sock blockers, but I don't. The wooden sock blockers that I had 2 pairs, and then I was knitting like crazy on the 4-weight worsted weight yarn for socks. And so after I put them on the sock blockers, this might have not been a good idea, but I washed the sock and then put it on the sock blockers. So then the wooden sock blockers, they got damaged, and it was just too difficult to try to piece together back the sock blockers because the toe, and then it came with like a stitches effect. I don't know what to call it, but it was like the toe section and the foot section, and you had to like put it together like this, like a, you know, it was adjustable as well, but it was best to go on like this, where it was loose. And it would always constantly fall apart whenever I would have my sock onto the sock blockers, and so that's why I threw them away. But the next time I get sock blockers, I want to try to get like a metal version, see how that goes. But I'm not ready yet to purchase another pair of sock blockers. So that is my next finished object. The last 3 finished objects that I have are children's dresses. Now, I know whenever I talked about it last week in the last week's podcast episode, if you haven't seen it already, it's linked below in the description box so you can catch up. But I was making like a yoke type of style, as, you know, it would go like this, as the way to construct the top of the children's dresses. I figured that that was too difficult to work with because I always create my patterns. I will notify everyone if it is not a creative pattern, but the way I roll is I always make creative patterns. That way I don't ever get struck with copyright one day. So this is the top of the children's dress. I need to scoot back a little bit so I can show the full detail of the socks. So here is size 5. Isn't it pretty? It's color work at its finest. And that's the back right here. And then this is the front right here. So it's meant for spring and summer. I guess you could say that these are my Easter children's dresses that I have been always so eager to make. But it's kind of like Easter colors, right? If you looked at this, it would kind of be like Easter colors. But the intent behind this dress was that I do it in like a spiral section with the 4 colors and the 5 colors, but that's just the pink doing the flare of the dress and then the straps. But with the blue and green and gold and purple, I tried to do the spiral effect. See? And this is again for size 5. It is 100% acrylic weight that I have 100% acrylic fiber worsted weight. And so this is the first one. And then I made, because I'm trying to stack this strategically right now, because the way I always stack the clothing that I make is that I use the very smallest size on the top, just like it is at a clothing store, right? So I do that on the top, and then next is size 6. And it is the same style, the same amount of rows that it takes per section. It is the same. So like this one is like 7, 7, 9, 9, 11, 11. And you know, the same pink flare, pink straps. But this is the front. This is the way to indicate that this is the front, is the blue ruffles on the top. And so that is size 6. And then the last finished object I have is size 7 of the children's dress. So here it is, a little bit bigger, of course. Now, when it comes to children's clothing, I'm not going to do something like add curves because they don't have curves yet. They're still growing. And this is made with the same 100% acrylic fiber and same style, same everything. It's just the only difference in all these dresses are the measurements, of course. And so here's the front again. And the way I make my clothing is I don't like to leave scraps behind. So I'm going to turn this inside out real quick so I can show you. I don't leave scraps. But you can tell this is the wrong side because of just how, there we go, this side right here, just how it is. I had to change colors. And so when working with any piece of work of crochet, there's always a right side and a wrong side. So this is the wrong side that I'm showing you guys right now. And so I'll flip it right back over. But that is all of the finished objects I have. And now to the works in progresses. I didn't mean to drop this. There we go. Now on to the works in progresses. Okay, it just sounded strange whenever I said it at first. I thought for a moment that it should sound like works of progresses, but then that wouldn't be correct. It would just be work in progresses. And by the way, don't mind my second office, which is the top of my bed. This is my second office right now because I just sometimes, being in my current office where I'm at right now, I just it gets boring crocheting in one place for so many years, constantly, and so I just try to switch it up and go to my second office right here. Don't mind it, by the way. So the first works in progress that I have, work in progress, is another children's dress, but this is size 8 to 10. So I'm starting with this color work again, you know, same. Even when I go increase in sizes, I still do the same amount of the rows, or rounds if you would call it. I still do the same amount of rounds and rows, because the only thing that changes as I get higher in sizes is that it is the length. And so I'm not increasing, you know, the top of the dress. I'm increasing the bottom of the dress of the rows and rounds. So that's why it is still the same whenever it comes to, you know, how many rows I do this, like 7, 7, and 9, 9, 11, 11. So that is the first work in progress that I have. The second and last work in progress I have is a very tangled yarn of socks. So right now I am just untangling it. It's just it's a pet peeve to have tangled yarn, or to have yarn like just tangled. It stinks. I hate it. And so with sock weight yarn, it's a lot easier for the yarn to get tangled, and it's like, no, please don't. But this is another sock, and I'm starting this the same way I did with the no-show sock. There we go. And I am almost done with the ribbing, and then I will do the heel turn, so on and so forth. But that is all the works in progresses I have, and the colorway again is guava when it comes to the sock. Now, new listings. I do have 2 new listings this time, so let me scoot over here so I can show you guys right here. I have 2 new listings, and you can see them right here, and you can see the price on here as well. But that is my 2 new listings. And now let me scoot back to the middle. And the next section is new yarn. Now I do have a yarn haul video that I have made recently, and if that is the new yarn that I have so far, and then I've got to record another yarn haul video. But to see the new yarn, the newest yarn that I have, you can check out the yarn haul video in the description box below as well. And the last thing is yarn labels, so I will be right back with those. And I'm back. So I have a couple of yarn labels that I have here with me. I have 4 different kinds. The first kind is the Loops and Threads Color Craft Acrylic. It is 100% acrylic yarn, and it's one of those 1 pound skeins of yarn. It's actually that one right there, the green one. It's just whenever the labels get too loose to work with on the skein still, that's when I take them off, and that's when I consider them worked on. So the second yarn label I have is the Big Twist 100% acrylic in the color Varsity Blue. The next label I have is the Big Twist Value 100% acrylic in the color Mustard. And the last yarn label I have is the Loops and Threads Soft Classic in the color Raspberry. I was looking for it. I was just constantly like, where is it? And so that is it for today's podcast episode. If you have made it this far in the video, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell so you are always notified of all the videos I make. Check out all my social medias such as Instagram, Facebook, X, threads. And also check out my memberships such as Ko-Fi and Patreon, where they are $4 a month each month per website. You get to have exclusive perks such as early access videos. You get to chat with me and other members. You get exclusive contents, post and updates, behind the scenes videos, bonus content, yarn haul videos, and you get a member shout out after every YouTube video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!